The narcissist discard is often a very cruel and sometimes calculated way that a narcissistic individual will get rid of those people who are no longer serving them, no longer of any use to the narcissist. They do not discard you for somebody better. They discard you for someone who can't see through their lies, who's going to give them the excessive attention, the sympathetic support that they are so desperately craving from those around them. The narcissist discard says everything about who they are as a person and nothing about who you are as a person, because no matter how much you do for a narcissist, it will never be enough for somebody who is envious and exploitative, and they simply lack the empathy to care about you. They're just looking to get their needs met by you. When it comes to the narcissist and their discard, they can discard you because they no longer see a use for you, or because they're bored, or they can discard you because they wish to try and punish you, to hurt you, to make you feel bad for not towing their line, for not just readily agreeing to everything they say, for not jumping exactly how high they want you to jump. Narcissistic individuals discard to serve themselves. It's not the end of a relationship as such, where two people recognise that as much as they care about each other, one wants one thing and one wants another thing, and they're not things that you can come together. So you're going to have to go your separate ways, and it's heartbreaking when that happens. With a narcissistic individual, it's that they've seen something shiny and new, or they're bored of you, or they want to hurt you horrifically. So they go all out to discard you, and they don't half pick their moments. They can discard you on a relative's funeral, a friend's funeral. They can discard you on your birthday, on a holiday, in the middle of nowhere. You can actually believe that things are going quite nicely at that moment in time. The relationship seems to be going well, and then all of a sudden they just up and leave you. And there's that much anxiety surrounding it because you can just sense that something's off, but they will not communicate with you. Narcissistic people can discard when you've become aware that something isn't quite right. You're not 100% happy with their behaviour, with how they're treating people. You might start asking them too many questions, and narcissistic people do not like answering questions. They want your obedience. So if you get a sense that something isn't quite right, and they get a sense that you're no longer towing the line, if they fear that exposure, they will happily go all out to smear your name, to ruin your reputation, to discredit your character, so people believe the narcissist's lies are not your truth. If you try to hold a narcissistic individual accountable, they really do not appreciate this. They believe that you should just blindly follow them. So when you try to hold them accountable, they get offended, and they might discard you. When you say no to them, now some narcissistic people do like a good challenge. However, there's only so much of a challenge they're willing to take. So if you set boundaries and say no to them, they get offended. Or if they've been that used to walking all over you, you've realised something isn't quite right, you've questioned them on something, and you just know you have facts and evidence, but they've gone around the houses and given you that word salad and tried to confuse you and tried to guilt trip you, and you've stuck to your no, they get offended by this. It questions their sense of entitlement, and they seek to punish you by discarding you. They can discard you just because they see something else they want. They're envious of somebody new, or they see a nice, happy relationship that they feel like they want to destroy for another person because they're envious of other people's happiness, because they're not willing to see any suffering that anyone else goes through. They just believe they're the only person that suffers in the world, and everyone else should have a taste and see what it's like for them. Whereas genuine people often try to go all out to stop those they care about from suffering in the ways that they've suffered. If their games are no longer working on you, they will happily go all out to discard you because they're no longer getting their needs met from you. When you're no longer giving them that excessive praise and attention, they get offended by this. So a narcissist will come on strong in the beginning with the love bombing, showering you with that flattery, taking you places, wanting all the same things as you, future faking with you because they've mirrored who you are as a person to sell you an illusion that that is who they are as a person and that is what they would like in the future with you. And it's very enticing. You believe you've met someone that you can really relate to, and then all of a sudden these plans that you had never actually arrive because it's not their plans, it's not their desires. They just use them to manipulate you, yet they find a way to blame you and shame you when it doesn't happen and claim that if you hadn't have done something, then you would be at that point by now. So you get to a point where you naturally start to withdraw from them because they're very manipulative, hurtful people. The more they criticize and mock you, the more you begin to distance yourself from them, even if you're not fully aware you're doing it. The more they put you down, the more you feel, the less you feel like going to them. When you achieve something and you go to them and they discredit it or take the credit for it or downplay it or completely ignore it, you stop informing them. And when you stop informing them, they get offended. So when you're no longer giving them the attention due to the shift in the dynamics of the relationship that they believe they're entitled to, they get offended and they discard you and they believe it's your fault for no longer paying them enough attention. They do not recognize the part they played in this because to them, they are perfect, they are superior, they are the all-knowing, almighty, all-powerful one, and you are the one that should listen to them. And when you're not listening to them, they will go all out to punish you and discard you. When they've drained absolutely everything they possibly can from you, they will up and leave you because they lack the empathy to care about you. They'll blame you and they'll use the fact that they've drained you to other people to gain that sympathetic attention of how you're not there for them, how they've tried their best to try and help you when they are the ones who sunk you. And when it comes to the narcissist and their discard, more often than not, this is not the end. Because after they've discarded you, they will go all out, even before they've discarded you, to smear your name, to isolate you from all forms of support, because they are looking to destroy you. Makes themselves feel better in a twisted way. And if they see you doing well, suddenly they want you back. They want to join in for the ride. So they might come back for the Hoover, as and when it suits them. The final discard comes from you when you choose to either go limited contact and grey rock because you can't go no contact, or to go no contact. Whichever you choose, it's about cutting off all supply to them. That's the final discard. When you can recognise their pattern of behaviour, recognise their games, and no longer play. They do take offence to this and they'll still blame you because they don't see any wrong in their behaviour. To them, it's everybody else's fault and never their own. And you cannot help people like this. It's a difficult enough job helping ourselves. Narcissistic individuals just want to help themselves to your stuff. If anyone has any thoughts on this video, please do add those into the comments for people reading through. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. It's greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp and their sponsored link is also in the video description. I do also have some books out on Amazon, 15 Rules to Deal with Narcissistic People If You Cannot Go No Contact, a Narcissists Handbook, which is the ultimate guide to understanding narcissistic and emotional abuse, and how to create psychological, emotional and physical boundaries around narcissistic individuals that have no respect for your boundaries. Those links will be in the description also if you'd like to go and check them out. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.